Hey everyone, welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're stepping back into 1963 and venturing into the strange, inventive world that gave birth to Doctor Who. This groundbreaking series didn't just introduce the Doctor, it launched a cultural phenomenon that would span decades, captivate generations, and redefine science fiction on television. But how well do you truly know the story behind its creation? So fire up the TARDIS, set the coordinates for the very beginning, and let's explore 20 things you never knew about Doctor Who. Doctor Who was originally conceived as an educational program designed to teach children about science and history. In an interview with the BBC, Waris Hussein, who directed the very first episode at the age of 24, explained that the series was intended to educate children about various aspects of the human condition. Sidney Newman, the BBC's then head of drama and one of Doctor Who's original creators, was adamant about one thing he did not want in the series. He recalled being a devoted fan of science fiction and disliking stories that featured bug-eyed monsters, and stated in a memo that there would be none in Doctor Who. However, after a few episodes, producer Verity Lambert introduced the Daleks. Newman initially scolded her, but of course the Daleks went on to captivate audiences, and Newman later reflected that some of his best work came from ideas he had originally resisted. For many years, fans and historians feared that the very first episode of Doctor Who had been lost forever, swallowed by the BBC's then common practice of wiping and reusing tapes. Miraculously, in 1978, the episode was rediscovered tucked away in a mislabeled film can, preserving a crucial piece of television history. The character of the Doctor was partly inspired by Sherlock Holmes, and numerous comparisons have been drawn between the two. Notably, both the 4th and 11th Doctors have dressed as Sherlock Holmes in episodes of Doctor Who. The regeneration effect, used to show one Doctor transforming into the next, was created entirely by accident. A faulty mixing desk caused the image of William Hartnell, the first Doctor, to become almost completely overexposed, allowing Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor, to be inserted before the effect faded back again. The Daleks were designed in 2 sections, allowing an operator to climb into the lower half to control the machine. The space was hot and cramped, making it difficult to hear anything outside. John Scott Martin, one of the original Dalek operators, explained that operating one required about 6 hands. One for the eye stalk, one for the light, one for the gun, another for the smoke canister underneath, and yet another for the sink plunger. He added that being related to an octopus would have been helpful. Although Time Lords appear human, they are alien and possess several distinct physiological traits. The Doctor, for example, has 2 hearts, a respiratory bypass system that allows him to survive without air far longer than a human, an internal body temperature of 15 to 16 degrees Celsius, and the ability to absorb, withstand, and expel significant amounts of certain types of radiation. Although even casual Doctor Who fans are likely to know that the Doctor is a Time Lord, an ancient alien species capable of travelling through time, the term was not actually used until the 6th season episode The War Games. Similarly, his home planet, Gallifrey, was not named until 1973. The distinctive TARDIS sound effect was originally created by rubbing the bass strings of a piano with a key. The BBC Radiophonic Workshop then modified this sound, producing the iconic effect that continues to be used in various forms to this day. In the early days of Doctor Who, the production was far more fast-paced and improvisational than modern audiences might imagine. Most early 1960s episodes were recorded as live in one long take for the whole episode block, requiring minimal editing due to expensive videotape and the theatrical play style of production, meaning mistakes often stayed in. If someone fluffed a line or missed a cue, their co-stars had to think on their feet and carry the scene forward. often improvising dialogue or reactions to keep the story moving. This method not only showcased the performer's quick wit and adaptability, but also gave the series a raw, energetic quality that contributed to its unique charm. The terrifying Weeping Angels, one of Doctor Who's most iconic villains, were inspired by the children's game What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? Just as in the game where players must freeze whenever the wolf turns around, the angels can only move when unobserved, remaining perfectly still whenever they are seen. The result is a villain that is both eerily simple and psychologically chilling, proving that even the most everyday games can be twisted into the stuff of nightmares in the hands of Doctor Who's imaginative storytelling. Although Jodie Whittaker became the first official female Doctor, she was not the first actress considered for the role. When the original series was struggling with ratings in the 1980s, the show's co-creator, Sydney Newman, wrote to BBC One controller Michael Grade, proposing several radical ideas for revitalising the show, including the introduction of a Time Lady, a female Doctor. Over the years, the producers frequently explored the idea. In 2008, showrunner Russell Davies revisited the concept, reportedly naming Catherine Zeta-Jones as his top choice to succeed David Tennant. Catherine Zeta-Jones was not the only high-profile actor who could have played the Doctor. Hugh Grant was offered the role during the show's revival but reportedly declined, concerned it might not succeed. Benedict Cumberbatch, later famous for Sherlock, also turned it down, explaining that he and David Tennant had discussed it, but he felt the part would need to be radically different. The TARDIS. The acronym stands for Time and Relative Dimension in Space, and it serves as the Doctor's preferred mode of transport for travelling through time. Famously, it is larger on the inside than on the outside. Now, why is the TARDIS shaped like a police box? Well, the Doctor's TARDIS has a broken chameleon circuit, which is intended to allow it to blend into its surroundings, appearing, for example, as a Roman pillar or statue in ancient Rome. However, as revealed in the very first episode, An Unearthly Child, the circuit is broken, leaving the TARDIS permanently stuck in the form of a police box. Both Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, and David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, were avid fans of Doctor Who as children. Tennant's grandmother even knitted him a scarf like that of the 4th Doctor, while Capaldi frequently sent letters and essays to the Doctor Who production office and had ambitions to run the show's fan club. Jamie McCrimmon holds the distinction of being the Doctor's longest-running companion, appearing in an impressive 112 episodes alongside the 2nd Doctor. Jamie was never intended to become a companion, but the production liked the actor and rewrote the ending of The Highlanders to bring Jamie aboard the TARDIS. Throughout the show, the spelling of his surname varies from one script to another. It is shown as Macrimon and McCrimmond. David Tennant, who portrayed the 10th Doctor, is married in real life to Georgia Moffat, the daughter of Peter Davison, who played the 5th Doctor. Georgia also appeared on the show as the Doctor's cloned daughter in the episode The Doctor's Daughter. Caitlin Blackwood, who played the young Amelia Pond, is Karen Gillan's real-life cousin. The two first met during an on-set read-through, as Caitlin was born in Northern Ireland and Karen in Scotland. Before securing their more prominent roles in Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor and Karen Gillan as Amy Pond, they had both appeared as characters in the 2008 episode The Fires of Pompeii. This episode, which depicted the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius, featured Capaldi as a sculptor named Caecilius, while Gillan was cast as a soothsayer. In the early years of Doctor Who, the BBC took extraordinary measures to protect its valuable recordings from theft or unauthorised copying. The tapes of these early episodes were codenamed Torchwood, a clever anagram of Doctor Who, allowing staff to discuss and transport them discreetly without drawing attention. Decades later, the name resurfaced as the perfect title for a spin-off series, linking the new show directly to the original's legacy while giving it its own identity. Torchwood went on to explore darker, more adult themes within the same universe. Tom Baker, who portrayed the Fourth Doctor, remains the longest-serving actor in the role, bringing the character to life for an impressive 7 years, and starring in approximately 172 episodes between 1974 and 1981. Known for his eccentric charm, trademark long scarf, and unpredictable wit, Baker's Doctor became one of the most recognizable and beloved incarnations in the show's history. During his tenure, he was joined by memorable companions such as the intrepid journalist Sarah Jane Smith and the loyal robotic dog K9, both of whom added humor, resourcefulness, and heart to his adventures. The Eighth Doctor, portrayed by Paul McGann, is unique in Doctor Who history for having starred in only a single feature-length episode rather than a full television series. Broadcast in 1996, this made-for-TV film was intended to revive the series after its long hiatus, bridging the gap between the classic era and the modern revival. Despite appearing just once on screen, McGann's Doctor quickly became a fan favourite, admired for his charm, wit and romantic energy, and his portrayal laid the groundwork for future explorations of the character in audio dramas, novels and later mini-episodes. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about Doctor Who. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.